Welcome back to the Cash Code. Have you ever heard someone say, the market is up or the market is down, and wondered what exactly they're talking about? Well, more often than not, they're referring to the S&P 500. It's one of the most important financial indicators in the world. And if you're serious about building wealth through investing, you need to understand what it is, how it works, and why it matters to your money. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a solid grasp on the S&P 500 and how you can use it to your advantage, even if you're just getting started. Let's break it down. The S&P 500 stands for the Standard & Poor's 500, and it's essentially a stock market index. But, unlike just picking one company, the S&P 500 tracks the performance of 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the United States. Think of it as a snapshot of the US economy, diversified, broad, and powerful. This index includes companies across 11 sectors, from technology and healthcare to energy and consumer goods, giving investors a simple way to access the performance of America's corporate giants all at once. Now, here's what makes the S&P 500 so special. It's market cap weighted. That means the bigger a company is, in terms of its market value, the more influence it has on the index. So, for example, companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google's parent company, Alphabet, hold a lot of weight in the S&P 500 because of their massive size. If Apple has a good day on the stock market, it can noticeably lift the index. On the flip side, if it drops, the index feels that too. But it's not just tech. You've also got companies like Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan Chase, Visa, Procter & Gamble, and Walmart in the mix. These are household names, and they represent industries that touch almost every part of our daily lives. Here's why this matters to you. Instead of trying to pick the next big stock, which is risky and often based on emotion, many smart investors choose to invest in the S&P 500 because it gives you instant diversification. You're not betting on one company, investing in 500. And historically, the S&P 500 has returned about 8 to 10% per year on average. After inflation, that means if you had invested $1,000 into an S&P 500 index fund 30 years ago, you'd have well over $10,000 today without ever needing to pick a single stock. But let's not sugarcoat it. The market goes up and down. There will be years when it drops, sometimes sharply. But over the long term, the S&P 500 has consistently bounced back and grown in value, which is why it's a favorite among long-term investors, including Warren Buffett. In fact, Buffett has gone on record saying that most people would be better off just regularly investing in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund and holding it for decades. So, how do you actually invest in the S&P 500? It's simple. You don't need to buy all 500 stocks individually. Instead, you can buy into a fund that tracks the S&P 500, like the Vanguard 500 Index Fund or SPDR S&P 500 These funds do all the work for you, automatically track the index, and adjust as companies come and go. All you need is a brokerage account and a commitment to invest regularly over time. At the Cash Code, we believe in learning, saving, investing, and growing. And understanding the S&P 500 is a major key in that process. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is one of the most proven ways to build real, lasting wealth. Whether you're just getting started or looking to take your investing game to the next level, knowing how the S&P 500 works gives you the edge. So, if you're tired of confusing financial information and want clear, powerful strategies that actually work, hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to cover, from building your first portfolio to mastering compound interest. But now you understand one of the most important building blocks in the world of investing. The S&P 500 is not just a number on a charted S. your gateway to growing wealth the smart way.